Welcome to Setting the Stage. I'm Brooke Savage. IMMERSE Orlando is back. It's coming to downtown Orlando February 21st through the 23rd. Michael James Scott is one of the headlining acts. Colney Smith is the founder of Creative City Project. They're both here to talk to us about what is coming up. Thank you so much for joining us.
Fantastic to be here.
Hello.
So first off, I'm happy to be in company with some Orlando natives.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about where in Orlando you're from and like what high schools you went to and growing up in Central Florida.
Let me think back. So I'm Cole. I grew up just south of downtown in the Conway area, went to Boone High School, graduated from there, and had a great time here growing up in Central Florida.
I'm Michael. I'm Cole's friend, Michael. And I grew up around this like Hiawassee, like Metro West area. I went to Dr. Phillips High School. But we were in Apopka, we were in, it keeps going. I was at Gotha Middle School the very first year Gotha Middle School opened. I was there, at Gotha, so, Rock Springs, we can keep going.
Got a little inner tube float down.
Oh yes, and making manatees back in the day, like with like your like mom's pantyhose with you. I don't know if you
stuff that would cotton.
Stuff that would
put little googly eyes on.
Yes,
it.
you would make manatees like the thing.
Oh wow,
that is very old school.
Fourth grade, adopt a manatee.
Yes,
all of it.
I'm just saying.
That treasure chest showed up in the fourth grade classroom for Florida history lesson.
See,
exciting.
This is #Florida.
Yes.
Okay?
That is awesome. And how did you both get into theater?
Oh. Wow.
Well, so we sung together when we were like 7 years old. So we have a long history.
Yep.
We were, 19 something.
Mm-hmm.
We would go down
last year
when Church Street Exchange existed. I have memories of us going down there as the caroling kids, singing Christmas songs to the people in the food court
in Charles Dickens costumes.
Yes. Were you on? I remember the George H.W. Bush came to the Grocers Convention.
Oh my God!
And we sang the national anthem.
Right. Yes.
The Grocers Convention at the Orange County
Convention
Center.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah.
So we go back I feel like it's also very funny. We couldn't be more opposite. Cole was like the smallest, and I was the biggest.
Yeah.
It's like literally just like the most ridiculous, and we were able to connect by, I think, music first. You know what I mean? That was where, which is so at a very young age, and the passion of it. Like we both loved it. We both grew up singing, and I think our paths took us to so many different places. Obviously, into theater, into into music, all the things. But it started in music, with music,
for sure.
which is and church for me. I mean, church.
Growing up singing choir.
And it just sort of has expanded out. We are, church boys who grew into, doing our thing, and music was the foundation of that.
I could totally relate to that. I was in the church choir too.
Yes.
And like you said, I loved like performing with my friends for, your parents and things like that, doing little skits and stuff. So I definitely can relate to that.
Absolutely. Yes.
So Michael, tell us about your journey to landing the role as Jeannie on Broadway.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, my career has been now a 20-year career on Broadway. There was a Broadway career before the Genie, which it's so funny because it's like the latter part of my career has been the Genie. But I've been blessed to be able to do 10 Broadway shows, so I've done a lot of different shows, a lot of different things. The Genie came about in a very crazy way where I was doing the Book of Mormon. I was in the original company of the Book of Mormon, and the director
with Josh Gad.
Yes, Josh is
that is amazing.
Very dear friend.
I saw you were in Book of Mormon, but I didn't realize it was the original.
I am on the recording. When you hear the man singing about having maggots in his that's me.
That is awesome.
That is me. And Josh is a very dear friend of mine. So Josh also from Florida, not Orlando, but he's a Florida boy. And we actually met. We all did like Florida Thespian Festivals together, which is another
I remember
crazy-
that. Yes, I did that too, yeah.
We all, there's something in the water in Florida, I'm telling you. But anyway, so during Book of Mormon, the director was the same director for Aladdin. I was asked to come in to do a reading. I learned the show in like 2 days, and this was just sort of like to just do a quick little reading of a little show called Aladdin. What I didn't know was that was going to be my audition, basically, for the show. Cut to 2 years later, I am playing the role. So it is, it's kind of, I always say, just say yes, you know, in terms of like being, it's like when you're in improv and you keep in the ball rolling, you just say yes, like yes and that's kind of a thing but my career where I just kind of was like yes and I would do something and all of a sudden it leads to something else. And that's really what happened with the Genie. The Genie was never on my radar, ever at all. I never even thought about that. And the director, Casey Nicola, they saw something in me. It was like, this is in you. And it really has become such a big part of my life and connecting to the Genie and all of the things that is the Genie. So that's how it happened.
Wow.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so I would say you didn't see yourself in that role, what you just said, but did you make the Genie what it is, or was the Genie supposed to be that and you became it? Because I think your spirit very much is what I would say the Genie is supposed to be on stage, but
yeah.
Where's the chicken and where's the egg?
Yes, that is
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. It's interesting because the Genie, you know, obviously there's the foundation that is Robin Williams, right?
Sure.
And that what that is. But this version of the Genie it's a very different version. However, the essence of it's still there. So the team said to me, "We want you to bring Michael James Scott to the role," which helped the pressure kind of go down and also gave me the empowerment to feel like I could do me, right? And what doing you means is like really you not being afraid to be you, not being unapologetically you, like truly. And that is how I was able to do my version of the Genie. And so I think it was the empowerment first that I could just do me in it. And then it turned into my Genie, which is a very different Genie from
Robin Williams.
From Robin Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but it's a great question because it is like, what is first, you know? Yeah.
I completely agree with that when it comes to the Genie. I felt like, you know, even when the movie came out, people were like talking about how is Will Smith gonna be like Robin Williams? But when I saw the movie, I never thought of it like that. I was like, no, he played it as Will Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Genie is all knowing. The Genie is everyone. So it is a part that's one of the things I love about it. The Genie is love, the Genie is light, the Genie is laughter. It is, we all want to have that connection of joy. That is the Genie. So but in that, if you are not yourself, you cannot apologize for any of who you are, because if you do, we see you. Like the audience gets that, and that's not who the Genie is. The Genie is literally the most unapologetic that you can never be. Like,
sure, yeah.
So it's actually quite been interesting therapy as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's something I always tell people to try walking around and not for a day.
Yeah.
Actually, not even a day. Try it for like a half a day.
Yeah.
Not apologizing for who you are, and see what that does for you.
I have heard that about acting, how it could be therapeutic.
Oh yeah. Same with music. You know, I mean, I think that's what's great, and art. You know, that's what's great about what we both have done and what we both are connected to. What Creative City Project has done. Like it's about the art. Like that is therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when people come to something like IMMERSE and they can escape, you know, their lives and come and be immersed in art. That is therapy. Like it really is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think too, for me, people ask like, why is art important? And it's like when we see two characters going through something on a screen, navigating the complexities of relationship or being oneself as a character, those things are practice for, they're examples for the lives that I think a lot of us want to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when we get to experience it in a context of a theater or in the streets of the city, it really is that connection back to something that I think is yearning inside of us. Yeah.
Absolutely. That brings me to my next question. We were talking about IMMERSE. What does it mean?
Good job, Michael. Thank you so much.
What does it mean to both of you to be bringing back experiences to your hometown?
Well, so for me, IMMERSE grew out of something that was a passion of mine, which is having so many creative friends, wanting to elevate them, wanting our community to see them, wanting them to be seen by not only our community, but people across the country and around the world. And so in 2012, I called my musician friends and said, hey, can you come play on the street corner? I called my dancer friends, can you come and just do something in this vacant lot in the middle of downtown Orlando? And it wasn't an organization, it wasn't an event. We didn't have sound or lights or permits or permission. We just started making things because we believe that creativity has the power to transform us and communities and make an impact and make a difference. And so that was the genesis of all of it. And it's grown every year since then. And I think that energy, that spirit of continuing to elevate creative people, to elevate artists, with the hope that it would transform us as individuals and transform us as a community, is still the heartbeat of why we're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he says that very but like it has grown to monumentally, you know. I mean, and I can say this because I'm his friend, and I can be hashtag hype friend. That's an incredible task to start from where he started from, right? And friends and the community to what it is now. That is literally monumental. And the festival has gone to monumental heights because I think of the trust and the love that was that foundation, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
To be able to get where it was. That's not easy to do. And some people may have stopped along the way. You know what I'm saying? But that's not who this man is, right? So that, and that's not who his tribe is. They are people that are like, we're going to make it happen. Yeah. And to see where it is today, I mean, truly is a huge task. So I just have to say that because it's not just a small. It's a major jump.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think for both of us, I would say that I'm making an assumption about you, but I'm assuming that what I'm about to say is true. There's been blood, and there's been sweat, and there's been tears, and there's been frustrations, and there's been sadness, and there's been a lot of joy. Mm-hmm. And so it truly is that journey of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an artist too. That's the life of an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not just artists, but that is a big part of our life. You know, as an artist, the ups and the downs, and the going through that journey. Because the amazing thing that comes out of hurt, of pain, of tears, of joy, you know, is light. So it's pretty incredible.
I completely agree. And so, tell us a little bit more about, I think I know the answer to this, but tell us a little bit more how this year is different compared to like previous years.
Well, so we've taken the last 2 years off. You know, we've been in an incredible process with the city of Orlando and Orange County, really saying how can we set up IMMERSE for a vibrant future in our community as an event that continues to grow, continues to welcome visitors from around the world, but also be a home for our community, those who call Central Florida home. And I think this year we continue in that journey. We continue to expand. The wonderful people at Cirque du Soleil have been a partner from the beginning. So even, you know, when I was just calling my friends and asking them to come play their guitars on the street corner, I made a cold call to the marketing department at La Nuba, which was the show that Cirque du Soleil had in town, and said, hey, we're bringing together a bunch of artists. Do y'all want to be part of it? And knowing their history, knowing how they started with some stilt walkers walking across a province of Canada, I knew community is at the heart of who they are as an organization. And so on the last day of October in 2012, they pulled up with a tour bus, and 25 of their artists piled out of it in front of City Hall, and they did a 45-minute show in front of City Hall. And it was like, okay, I think maybe we have something. So it's incredible to welcome them back. We'll see one of their aerialists hanging from a crane. They have these incredible unicyclists from Japan who will be performing on the stage below that aerialist as she performs overhead. Blue Man Group is returning. They're coming back with a full-time show here in Central Florida in April. And so we're going to get a little preview of what they're bringing back to the community as they perform on a stage right in the middle of Orange Avenue. And then those Blue Men are going to do what they do best, get off the stage and wander around and create those little moments of surprises for guests as they encounter them. Of course, we have the incredible Michael James Scott coming to collaborate with us. And he has a show coming up in May that I hope he'll get to talk a little bit about. So we'll get a preview of that. But Mike, why don't you talk a little bit about what you'll be doing?
Well, to be a part of IMMERSE is very exciting. And, when your friend calls you and says, would you want to do this, or can you do this? Like, can we make this happen? What do we need to do to make this happen? You figure out what you need to do to make it happen. And so it's really exciting, and it worked. It happened to really kind of coincide with, on May 17th, I'm doing a concert with the Orlando Philharmonic at the Steinmetz Hall at the gorgeous Dr. Phillips Center, which is very exciting. And that show is called A Dream is a Wish. And we are doing a little preview of that for IMMERSE. So it's MJS at IMMERSE, okay? Doing Wish is what this is called. So it's just a little preview of what you're going to get in that. And, this is... So members of the Orlando Philharmonic, we have singers, we have dancers, we have some fireworks, little some lighting, all the things that make it, make IMMERSE and exciting and special. And it's specifically tailored for IMMERSE, for the IMMERSE audience, for this community that has been building for these years, and what the audience and what people have come to know what makes IMMERSE so special. So that's really exciting that we've gotten to have something specifically tailored for IMMERSE. So you won't see this performance in May, which is really cool, but you will see a preview of May for IMMERSE. You get that? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things, but it's a really cool, exciting show. I'm really excited about it.
That sounds so exciting. You both mentioned community. You both make a big impact here in Central Florida and beyond. Has anyone ever, reached out to you about what you do and what it means to them? Like some feedback you've received.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's a few moments for me that really just kind of continue to honestly motivate me and give me energy and lift my spirit to continue to do the work of what we do. I remember going a couple years ago through the bank of photos from one of our photographers, and there's this picture in there that I came across of a dad with a boy standing on his shoulders, and so that the kid could see the stage. And for me, I teared up when I saw that, because I was like, that's what we're doing. We're elevating artists. We are the shoulders that they can stand on to platform them, and at the same time what we're doing is designed to create moments of meaning like that between that son and his dad, where they're coming together around these creative experiences to have those lifelong memories that they will carry with them forever. And so I think those are the kinds of moments for me, and there are so many stories that I could tell like that really are why we do what we do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There are a lot of stories. I mean, it's an incredible thing to be part of a community, and from a community that really fostered young artists and really cared, right? And also, we also had family. We come from families that made it happen, and or if they didn't have the resources to, they sought help to figure out how to make it happen and just get their kids to do what it was. And
what are the number of hours that our moms sat in some room out there while we came in and did whatever it was that we had to do, a Thursday night rehearsal from 6 to 9.
Yes. And them getting off of work and getting you straight to rehearsal, and then them just sitting and waiting for you to finish. Or, I mean, that's exactly. It's when I think about that, I'm blown away by just sort of the sacrifice that, and then when I hear, other friends or now say you know, it's inspiring to see that it is possible, and I think that for me is what keeps it going. You know, I'm a little black kid from Orlando, Florida, who just wanted to sing and dance, and it happened. It is possible. And I am literally the living proof that it is possible. I don't come from a performing arts family. I don't come from, you know, that's what is possible. And so when I can sit here and sit next to, you know, my childhood friend who is also doing his thing, we literally are the embodiment of it is possible, right?
Yes.
That's huge, and that's very special, and that's Orlando. That's a part of Orlando. It's very, very special.
That is huge. You know, you mentioned parent sacrifice. It reminded me of, you know, I used to go to dance classes, and my mom said that was when she took her naps in the car.
Yes. And we don't know what was happening. That, you know, but that was their moment. Exactly. My mom actually, yes, I remember her. She would take a nap in the car, or like go and get some food. Maybe go get a pedicure, or you know what I mean, and like real quick, and then come back and ready to. Here I am, like, well, now I'm hungry. You know what I mean, like.
For sure.
So yes, the sacrifice.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, like what's next for Creative City Project? You mentioned your show. Is there anything else you're working on?
I mean, yes. I mean, for me, obviously I'm doing that. I'm working on the show that actually we're trying the show out here, which is really cool, and we're doing it in Orlando first. It's my home. It's my foundation. But we are the idea and the goal will be to take it to other venues, which is really exciting. Also working on an album, a new album, which would be really cool. And there's some TV things also in the work, which is really exciting. And I'm so stay tuned.
You're busy, and I did just see you at the Christmas special for Disney.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I was so happy to see that.
Yeah,
like the Orlando
yes.
representation.
Oh yes. We, Disney's been good to me, which is nice. We're all connected by one person to the Mickey Mouse somehow, right?
Yeah. For sure.
In Orlando, they've been good to me.
Yeah.
How about y'all?
Yeah, so IMMERSE is coming up February 21st through the 23rd, so we're obviously investing a lot of time into making sure that's a spectacular event for our community. IMMERSEFest.com is where all the information is for that. And that's hundreds of artists, hundreds of performances that are happening across 10 city blocks in downtown. And Creative City Project is continuing to work on other programming throughout the year. We'll have something later this year that will be a fun arts offering. Stay tuned for that info too.
Yes.
And then we'll be back with Dazzling Nights again at Lou Gardens in December. So
Which is everything.
What about the Halloween event?
we are in a process of continuing to figure out what our programming looks like for 2025, and we'll have lots of news for you.
Yeah, I do love Dazzling Nights. Yeah.
It's literally the best. Like, I mean, literally, I like gasped when I walked to like the snow part, and I was like, oh my god! Like it was like, it's come on, it was amazing.
It has been cool to see how much Creative City Project, how like the number of events have increased throughout the years.
Yeah,
they are not playing around.
Yeah.
There's events.
It's a wild time. It's a wild time. Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, between September when we started Happy Frights and Haunting Nights in 2024 through Dazzling Nights through IMMERSE, it'll be 225,000 guests that we'll have seen come through our show since August. So it's incredible to be part of a community and provide these experiences and opportunities for people to come together.
Yeah, and it definitely sets us apart. Like, we're not just theme parks.
Yeah,
I keep telling my family that when they come to visit. You know what I mean? So it's so cool that we have all these like events always happening.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to bring up about IMMERSE?
We're excited about it. Let's do it.
Come on.
Yes.
That's what we say. Just come and enjoy, experience, and it's bring the family. Come on out to IMMERSE and let your imagination, let your heart open, like let the love, and just come on out. It's a huge community event, and I think it's inspiring on so many fronts. So which is amazing for everybody. That is what's really exciting about it. So come. That's what we're saying. We'll see you there.
Absolutely. Well, again, Immerse is in downtown Orlando, February 21st through the 23rd. We actually put together a guide for you about all that's happening. It's on clickorlando.com/setting the stage. Cole and Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely.